Very good. I love that. We might have to play a couple more in the transitions. No. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Congresswoman Brown's second annual Housing Expo and Conference. All right, yes. I'm Jasmine Butler, the Administrative Director for Congresswoman Brown, and today you are not just attendees, you are guests at our house party with a purpose. Whether you came to find resources, improve your credit, buy a home, or just leave more empowered, we've got something for you and everybody here today. So you all should have a handout. Can y'all hold your handouts up? Put your hand up in the air. If you don't have a handout, we have some people that are around that can make sure you get one. And if you don't get one, you can scan this QR code and you can get a digital copy. Inside, you'll find everything you need for the day, the breakout session schedule, speaker bios, resource table maps, and a space for notes, because you're going to need to write these notes down because you're going to get some gems you want to take home. So just a couple of quick housekeeping items to note. Bathrooms are located right outside in the main lobby area near the registration desk. And if you could take a moment to silence your phones, we would greatly appreciate it so that we can give our speakers and panelists the respect that they deserve. Now, feel free to make yourself at home. There'll be time to ask questions and connect. Today is about access, answers, and action, so get ready. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Renee Richard.
Good morning. Listen, I need a minute. I need some breath up here. So thank you, DJ, for getting us going, but now I need to talk. And all right, anyhow, good morning and welcome to Corporate College. I am Renee Richard. I'm president of Corporate College, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to Corporate College. We like to think of ourselves, and we do think of ourselves as the People's College, and what better venue to hold a forum for housing for the people and resources for the people. So thank you, Congresswoman, for selecting our venue to have this wonderful event in. And I hope that all of you, while you're here, you will take advantage of all the resources the Congresswoman has brought here for you, and also take advantage of all of the resources we have here at Corporate College. Venture around, see what you like, see what you might be able to utilize, and then come back and see us again. That's my commercial for the day. So now, on to my assignment. It is my distinct honor to introduce Congresswoman Shontel Brown. As I'm sure you know, she is a dedicated public servant and a tireless advocate for you, the people of Ohio 11th Congressional District. Since taking office, Congresswoman Brown has been a steadfast champion for policies that uplift working families, protect civil rights, and expand economic opportunities. Her leadership has been instrumental in advancing initiatives that support affordable housing, strengthen healthcare access, and ensure that every child has the resources they need to succeed. Did you know our Congresswoman has introduced a bill to protect SNAP? She is fighting every day to prevent $230 billion in cuts to nutritional assistance program that helps over 75,000 households right here in Ohio 11 alone. We got to be thankful to her for that fight. Congresswoman Brown has worked diligently to bring federal resources to Northeast Ohio, fighting for investments in infrastructure, education, and job creation. Her commitment to justice and equity is unwavering. She has been a vocal advocate for protecting voting rights, defending social programs that serve vulnerable communities, and fostering bipartisan solutions that benefit all Americans. And I'm sure you know that in times like these, we need an advocate with her bravado, compassion, and integrity. It is with great pride that we welcome Congresswoman Shontel Brown today. Please join me in giving her a warm welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You know what, I can't even really articulate how excited I am to be here today. Last night, it was a challenge getting here. My flight was delayed and canceled. I had to fly in through Akron, so I got in about 1 o'clock this morning. And I have to shout out my team because they were like, I'm like, y'all can do this without me. Because I didn't know we were going to be doing line dancing this morning. I would have wore different shoes, okay? So shout out to my team for the pleasant surprise. I am excited to be back here this morning and so proud to be back at Corporate College for another important event. This is the spirit of Tri-C right here, bringing people together and serving the community. I'd also like to thank all of our agencies, organizations, and presenters who are here today. Take a look at all of the agencies that are here on this slide. Can we give them a round of applause? I won't list them all, but you see, there are many. And our goal today was to create a one-stop shop and bring all these resources together in one spot. And I want to thank everyone from all these organizations who is volunteering their time today. This would not happen without them. Buying a home, getting a house, getting a housing voucher, even doing home repair, it can be complicated. It's confusing, right? And they don't teach you this in school. But step one is finding out what you need to know. You might be a lot closer than you think, so don't be afraid to ask questions today. I also want to recognize my staff who are in the room from my district office, including the lead for this event, Jasmine Butler, who has been working on this for months. Y'all, my staff and the volunteers around here have been building all day. So if you have questions, please look for them if you need help. And while we're on the subject, I also want to highlight the work my team has done to help constituents throughout the year. In 2025, my office returned over $5.7 million back to constituents through casework, bringing the total since I took office to over $11 million. And in this era where a lot of elected officials are not holding town halls, not answering their phones, we are working to deliver for you, and delivering for you includes today's event. So I hope you find today's expo helpful, whether you are a renter, someone who needs affordable housing, a first-time home buyer, or someone looking to sell or renovate. Today is about making sure you have the resources and the tools you need. And in a few moments, we're going to have a brief panel with our experts. But before we start the panel, I want to say a few words about housing. One of the biggest challenges that people in Northeast Ohio face is cost of living. And housing is a big part of that. In fact, it's the biggest part. Nationwide, according to one estimate, we have a housing shortage of at least 4 million units. In the Cleveland metro area, we're 15,000 units short. And when there's a shortage, prices go up and affordability goes down. The average age of a first-time home buyer is now 36 years old, compared to age 29 in 1981. And too many people are locked out of the housing market. The black home ownership rate is 30% lower than it is for whites. In fact, just 44% of black households are homeowners. That's lower than it was back in the year 2000. That's why the leadership of our former Congresswoman and former Housing Secretary Fudge was so important. Can we give it up for her? My predecessor, my mentor and friend, Secretary Fudge, and the Biden-Harris administration actually expanded the number of HUD-backed mortgages for black borrowers, and from 2021 to 2024, 250,000 black homeowners bought a house using a federal FHA mortgage. So I don't want us to lose that momentum because there's a lot more work to do. And with spending cuts being all the rage with some folks in Washington right now, I am going to fight to make sure that we don't go backwards. Next week, I will be introducing a resolution to recognize this national housing crisis. This resolution will call for urgent action across all levels of government to respond to this crisis so that buyers and renters can afford a safe, stable, and affordable place to call home. Thank you. I want my colleagues to know that this problem is real and that it's time to do something about it. I'm also proud to co-sponsor 3 important bills to make housing more affordable. The first is the Home Investment Partnership Act, which would increase funding for affordable housing and assistance programs. The second is the Home of Your Own Act, which creates a new program to provide $30,000 grants to eligible home buyers. And the third is the HELPER Act, which creates a new federal home loan program for teachers, law enforcement, and first responders. The HELPER Act, go ahead, that's worthy. I'll take the applause. Thank you. The HELPER is especially important because it means that the people that serve our community can put roots down in our community. But housing is just not about homeowners, y'all. We need to expand federal programs for affordable housing and public housing, housing vouchers, and assistance for people that are unhoused. Because every aspect of our lives comes back to housing: your health, your safety, your economic well-being, and your dignity. So that's the big picture. But this Housing Expo is about what's happening locally. So I want you to be able to take advantage of the programs that are already in place. We have our tables available around the room, and we'll also have breakout sessions on specific topics, including federal programs, property taxes, and financing. So thank you again for being here. I am truly, truly honored to represent you. So everybody still doing okay? Y'all still with me? All right, so I hope you got your coffee. I hope you got your notebook, and maybe even a free pen from one of our business or fabulous vendors around here, because now it's time to look for this panel. We're going to do this panel. So listen, we've been calling this a house party for a reason. It's intentional, as you can see, because yes, we want it to be fun, but we also want it to be real. And what's more real than figuring out how to keep a roof over your head or finally getting keys to your own front door? So this next panel is what that's all about. It's called the Housing Cheat Code, Unlocking Stability in Uncertain Times. Because let's be honest, housing right now can feel like a maze. But we've got the map, and these ladies, well, I would say they're the GPS. So I want to invite our powerhouse panel to join me up here, and we're going to get into it. First up, my good friend Lydia Pope. She's a certified housing counselor and branch manager with the National Investment NID. She's helping folks go from not ready to closing date confirmed for years now. Give it up for Lydia Pope, y'all. Yes. Next, let's welcome Dorothy Curtis, Vice President of Community Development of Dollar Bank. Hey. Oh. Now, she's the woman who makes sure the money gets to the people and the neighborhoods that need it the most. So let's give it up for Dorothy, y'all. And last, but certainly not least, Candace Williams, Executive Director of Local Initiative Support Corporation. We'll be calling it LIC for short today. She's helping build up neighborhoods block by block, partnering with organizations doing the heavy lifting. Candace, thank you for joining us today. All right.
Living my life like it's golden. 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 Golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life.
Pen and pad ready? All right, because we're about to get into it. Okay, ladies, this is an amazing panel of women. We're going to get comfy. And for folks out there, get your pens ready because we're about to drop some knowledge, all right? Lydia, why don't you start us off with a quick introduction on who you are, what you do, and why this work matters to you.
Yes. Good morning. My name is Lydia Pope. I'm the branch manager for NID Housing Agency, which is a HUD-approved counseling agency, and is part of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, known as Realtus, which is the largest and oldest black organization in this country. And I do this for passion,
Dorothy, you're up next.
Thank you. I thought it turned on. Good morning. Again, my name is Dorothy Curtis, Vice President of Community Development at Dollar Bank. Been with Dollar Bank for over 31 years, so my feet have been on the ground.
Child prodigy. She's a child prodigy, y'all. Okay.
Absolutely. So I'm here today. I want to express and give as much knowledge and answer any questions that you may have. And it is truly a passion and compassion for me.
All right, thank you. And Candace, bring us home.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Candace Williams, Executive Director of the Cleveland office of LISC, or Local Initiative Support Corporation. And we are a national community development intermediary. We support other nonprofits and community-based organizations that help to create healthy communities, and affordable housing is our bread and butter. My why is, I'm a product of Cleveland, the biggest cheerleader born and raised, and I'm doing it for personal and professional passion for sure.
Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. So let's jump right in with what's really frustrating people. One common barrier that holds people back from housing stability is how can they move past it? Lydia, I'm coming to you first. What's something you hear over and over and over again from folks you work with?
So in the counseling business, we hear quite a bit. I don't have any down payment, and I have credit challenges. So there's a fear factor of buying a home, huge fear factor. When you talk about that 41%, it's only 3% points from back in 1968 during the fair housing, so we were 44%. So only moved up about 3% in the country, black home ownership. So that's a big difference, and most of that is because of we don't have the banks in our neighborhoods and things of that nature, so we're trying to make a change throughout the country, but it's the fear factor of credit and the fear factor of down payment assistance.
All right, thank you for that. I am going to ask you a little bit more. Because one of the things that people come to me with is a little bit about misinformation. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yes. There's a misinformation about home ownership. When it comes to home ownership and looking and going over your credit, that's your number one priority. As housing counselors, we sit there and we go over that with you behind a private door, behind understanding the challenges that are happening in the market. Everyone in this room can buy a home, everyone. It's just a matter of taking your time, doing it right, sitting with someone, seeing your credit, and then dedicating your time to getting your credit to where it needs to be. But the misinformation that's happening throughout the country is that black home ownership is at a small percentage, and it is a misconception that we can't buy. A lot of the loan level pricing and issues that have happened around the country, but yes, you can purchase a home.
All right, that's good news. That's what we're here for. Dorothy, from your end, what's standing in the way of people getting the housing they need?
Sure. So a lot of people will say, I can't do it. I can't afford a home. My credit is bad. I don't have any money in the bank. And the bank, they don't want to lend to me anyway. Misconception. That's what we're in business for, to lend. But it's our responsibility to make sure we're going in well prepared, knowing what we need, making sure our credit, and people always say, well, what does my credit score have to be? I said, as high as it can be. That's my response, because that's what you should aim for, always the top. So there's no reason to get a no. Because we're there to lend to you, and that's what we want to do. And so that's a misconception that I'm not ready. Because we've had so many people that come into our office and like, I'm ready? Yes, you are. You just need to know what you need to know, right? You need to know that my credit needs to be great. I need some down payment assistance, and there is plenty of down payment assistance that's available to you. You just have to know where to go and get those resources. So that's what we're trying to do, educate the consumer. And there's nothing better than you going in there saying, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to get.
Excellent. Candace, now I know Liz sees the big picture. What's holding our communities back the most, our community as a whole?
Thank you, Congresswoman. You touched on it at the opening. We're in a national housing crisis, and Cleveland is not immune to that. Actually, it's significantly worse than most areas in the country. And so when you talk about affordability, it's because the supply is low. You know, our housing stock is older. It's not a new community. So, and then you put on top of that institutional investors that come in and don't reinvest back into the homes. That's what raises the housing prices and makes it more difficult for families to secure quality, affordable housing. And so that's a big piece of it. I think that there's some other silent threats that we don't talk about. One that our team is working on is around tangled titles and heirs property resolution. It's when a home has been in a family for generations. It was grandma's home or your great-grandparents' home, and you never legally transferred title to the property. People are losing their homes at alarming rates, especially in urban areas. And so what are we doing to make sure that families have the legal protections in place to keep the family not only as an affordable, safe place to live, but you're actually passing that asset down to future generations, and that's where the wealth preservation comes into it. So we're excited to be doing that work. We're also supporting developers, mission-aligned developers that want to invest in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. We just launched a housing investment fund in partnership with the City of Cleveland, and KeyBank is our investor, anchor investor, and certainly raising up to, and they hope to exceed $100 million to increase the supply and the affordability of housing in Cleveland. So really trying to make sure that we're touching on all aspects of it, and just thankful to be here and be a partner in the cause.
Thank you, and that's a huge investment. $100 million is significant, and will do a great deal of be a great contribution, particularly in the city of Cleveland, where this housing stock is so old, right? And we have a lot of old housing stock in Cuyahoga County. But right now, let's talk about credit, that 5-letter word that makes people sweat. I see y'all. What roles does financial coaching or credit readiness really play in today's housing market, and why should folks take it seriously? And I'm actually going to start with Dorothy on this one.
Absolutely. Credit is so important. It's not just for housing. It's for anything, right? It's for starting a business. It's for renting. Anything that you can think of and imagine is related to credit. And it's something that is like a taboo. Let's not talk about credit, right? But we have to talk about credit because that's a buying power. And there's nothing more greater than having the greatest buying power. So I encourage everyone, it's 2 simple things you need to do when you're looking at your credit. And you'll say, yeah, sure, it's simple. Keep your balances low and pay your bills on time. 35% of your credit score is based upon payment history. 35%. Another heavy hitter is 30%, and that's based upon your balance that you owe. So hypothetically speaking, if you have a $1,000 credit limit, we suggest that you keep your balance at least at 30% or lower. So if it's $1,000, your balance shouldn't go over $300. That keeps you in a safe place. I always tell people, get your credit established by way of secure credit card. There's nothing wrong with that. Go into your local lenders and say, hey, listen, I need to start a secured credit card where you put money in deposit with a lender and then you use that credit. Now, I'm not suggesting go out and get in debt. Fill up your car, your gas tank. Everybody's driving, needs gas. Fill it up. When that bill comes in, pay it off. All you're trying to do is create a payment pattern history. On-time payment pattern history. Take those baby steps. So again, pay your bills on time. I don't care if it's $10. Pay it on time because a 30-day late will knock your credit score down quickly. And it'll take a while for you to build it back up. So don't think, oh, it's just $10. Yeah, $10 to mess up your credit score, 30, 40, 50%. So make sure, no matter what it is, pay your bills on time and keep your balances low. And whatever you do, do not close out an account. Hello. The biggest thing people say, I'm going to pay off all my credit and I'm going to close out my account. Do not close out your account. Keep them open. Become disciplined. Do not use them. I use mine once a year if I have to, and just have it there. Because your thing is to build up your credit. Again, what? We want the highest credit score we possibly can get. Those are some simple rules to follow.
I appreciate that because I have closed accounts and my score went down. Yes, because it shortens the history of your time. Now you look like you don't have a long-term history, and so creditors are like, you don't have a good payment, you don't have a record of payment history. So I've seen that happen in real time on my credit. So thank you for the tip. I'm learning stuff too. Okay, so Lydia, I know you walk through this with clients every day. What's your take?
So I'm going to add on to what Dorothy stated. Everything she says is absolutely correct. But part of the credit is looking at your budget. As a housing agency, I'm looking at your bank statements, and when clients come in, I say, don't be afraid. It's okay. Bring in those 2 months bank statements. I know you have a lot of the Amazons, and there's a lot of things that you guys are purchasing. I hear you.
She on your street. I hear you preach. Okay, go.
And we look at that, but here's the deal. Sometimes in your bank statement, you don't realize you have reoccurring debts. Things such as maybe fitnesses that you don't go to the gym. That cost right there can go into that credit card that Dorothy talked about. So looking at your budget, evaluating where you're at, looking at your income, does it coincide with your credit? Do we need to get a second job, maybe work a few more hours to get to that home ownership? It's worth it. It's worth every penny to have that feel of home ownership. That's why I said no matter what your score is, you can get to the score that you need. How long it takes, it depends on your commitment, your time, and your willingness to work through the process. But we do all of that behind closed doors, so it's just you and I in the room, seeing where we need to go to get where we need to be in the future.
So it sounds like you come when you go over their budget with a fine-tooth comb, see where we can eliminate some things and see where we can maybe do a better job with saving some money.
Absolutely.
So eliminating that donation I make to Orange Theory every month, okay?
Yes.
Because I don't go, so it's definitely just a donation right now. All right, so Candace, how does LIST support people with these building blocks, especially through your partner organizations?
Yes, thank you. Just to echo what Lydia and Dorothy said, your credit history is your roadmap. And a lot of times we try to separate it from every other aspect of our life, right? It's all interrelated. As you kind of started again at the top of the conversation, your financial history or your financial stability is related to the job, your car insurance. Everything is a credit check now. And so understanding the relationship between all aspects of your life and maintaining that stability is very important. And at LIST, we work with other nonprofit organizations that do that work in terms of financial stability. And there's many other incredible partners here in the room that also do this work. Don't be afraid to reach out. I know that talking about finances is scary, and you feel vulnerable, but you have to put that as a priority first, and finding ways to not only increase your income. And that means that you might have to, revisit or, take another look at what are my job options. Maybe this job doesn't suit what I'm looking to do in terms of my long-term goals. There are many incredible partners in the room here that help with job training, job coaching, job placement, and then understanding where that financial, your finances and your budgeting and expenses plays into that. So raising your income, lowering your expenses is growing that delta so that you can do what you want to do and have that financial freedom.
Thank you so much. So now, y'all, we're going to go from renting to owning. So let's talk about ownership, because for a lot of folks, that's a dream, but it feels out of reach. So Lydia, how does NID help folks go from renting to owning?
Thank you. And I got to say a quick one about the Amazon. I drove on my street today. I stay in the North Randall area, and I counted the amount of Amazon boxes that were in the front, and it was 27 that was on those desks. Now imagine those folks who are renting those houses opposed to owning. If you just take away that box and pour your money into your future investment, amazing, and imagine where you can be today. When you're renting your property, you're paying a landlord, and when there's challenges, you go to the landlord. Wouldn't it be nice even if you can't afford that $300,000 house, maybe baby stepping to, a 100 condo or smaller home, and then you work your way. See, homeownership is not about the large investment, it's about investment for generational wealth. And that same property later down the line, when you go up a little higher, guess what? You can either rent that out, pass it on. My family home, to this day that I was born in, my brother owns it. We kept that generational wealth all the way down the line. So when he bought the property, he bought it for super cheap. But guess what? He can rent that and buy another house. So renting, to me, in my eyes as a housing counselor, our goal is to get you to the home ownership. But again, we're going to take baby steps because you want to do it once and you want to do it right. And the 30 years I've been in this business, my goal is to help and to take you there. So if it takes you 1 year, 1 month, or 6 months, it's okay. Take your time and get there.
Excellent, excellent. It sounds like y'all got some equity to help put towards those purchases for those houses, right? That you can give the family. Okay, all right. I'm learning. Okay, so Dorothy, what's your team doing to make transition more possible for everyday people?
Oh, absolutely. So we have a free program at Dollar Bank, and it's been there since I've been there.
Wait a minute, what?
A free program. F-R-E-E.
Y'all heard that?
Y'all hear that? It's called the Credit Enhancement Program. And
Say it again, the what?
The Credit Enhancement Program.
Y'all taking notes? Dollar Bank. Free credit enhancement program. Been there for years. Okay, go on.
Been there for years. And it's basically for first-time home buyers. And it is a program where if you're having any type of credit issues, we have an in-house counselor that will work with you one-on-one to help you rectify those issues. Because that's the first thing we want to do. Get you the same interest rate as someone walking through that door with A1 credit. We want to get your credit to that level. So it's free. First-time home buyers, the only requirement for that. Secondly, we have a down payment assistance program. It's called our match savings program. It's a 5-to-1 match savings. For every dollar for eligible borrowers, income restricted, $79,000 is the income. For every borrower that saves $1,000, Dollar Bank is going to match it with $5,000. Down payment assistance, grant, that too.
Where was this program? Okay, I'm sorry, go on.
It's a grant program. You don't have to worry about paying it back. And some partners that are in the room has actually used that for their constituents. So it's important to know what's available to you. I said free. It's not gonna take anything but your time. And we help you help yourselves. So we give you the guidance and the tools to what you need to get where you need to be, because you'll appreciate it more if you do the work, if you put yourself involved in it, if you do the sweat equity, as Habitat for Humanities would call it. And it's just like anything else. You take advantage of things that are available to you, but put in some work, investigate, look up the lenders that you're interested in. Some of you did not know about that program, and again, it is free, and it's been around for as long as I've been with Dollar Bank, 31 years.
Wow, thank you. Pearls, wisdom being dropped here today. Okay, Candace, now I know Liz works behind the scenes in the community. How are you helping more renters become homeowners?
Yes, thank you. I don't want to put my team on the spot, but on my left, you all's right back corner, Chanel and Walter here. We work with a lot of nonprofit organizations that do just that. They do provide free services, financial coaching and counseling. There's all kinds of materials on the table. Please do not leave. We can make sure that we can get you connected to those organizations that provide that, and there isn't a time limit. That could be your relationship, your coach for life. As long as you have a financial goal, they can make sure that they can support you, and not only on the financial coaching and counseling side, but again, with the job placement, job training. We are working with 4 current nonprofit organizations now and looking to grow that partnership. So please make sure that you make that connection if that's something that's a fit for you. It can be layered with resources like Dollar Bank and others, and we also have resources from other partners that also allow a match savings account program where It's a dollar-for-dollar match for emergency savings, up to, I think it's $300 for emergency savings, and dollar-for-dollar match up to $500 for large purchases, so it gets to the homeownership piece. So these things layer. Make sure that you're making these connections.
That's awesome. Thank you, ladies. Okay, now I want to get to some super practical things, right? So what's one thing someone here can do this week to improve their housing prospects? One tip, one strategy, real simple. Lydia, you're up first.
Two things.
She can be two.
No. We're going to say one. We're going to combine it. First of all, meet with the housing counselor. We're the first step before you get to that step, and then that adds on to your home buyer workshop, attending a workshop. Even today, we're giving credit for those that have attended today's Expo, 2 hours credit towards that 8 hours of counseling session. As long as you're able to sign up, we know who you are, because that's the down payment money that's needed for city, county, and state programs and bank programs.
Excellent. Okay, Dorothy?
Do your homework at home. Do your homework at home. Do what you need to do to get yourself prepared before you walk through that door.
All right. Candace, close us out.
I'd commit to yourself to connecting with at least 3 or 4 partners in the room. And thank you, Congresswoman, for pulling us all together. These resources and connections are free. You're here, you're not working, you got all day to make these connections, and make sure you follow up, because these folks are here to support you in your journey.
Excellent. Okay, so now it's y'all turn, okay? Yes, give them a round of applause, please. So if you look on the screen or on your program, you'll see that QR code. Go ahead and scan that with your phone to drop in your question, because our staff will be reading your questions out loud, and I'll direct them to the panelists. So we want to hear what is on your mind. These ladies have given us some incredibly valuable information. So it looks like Jasmine is already ready with the first question. Kick it over to Jasmine.
First question is, my credit isn't great, but I pay my rent on time every month. Does that count for anything when applying for a mortgage?
You want me to take that?
Yeah, jump in. Jump in.
We do. We have what we call non-traditional credit, where they will look at your rent, where they will look at your utilities to see how well you're paying those bills. So that is very, very important. Don't think it's not. So yes, how you pay your rent is very, very important. We send out a VOE, verification of employment, verification of where you're living. So yes, please make sure that you pay any type of bills on time.
And I want to add, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that during Secretary Fudge's tenure, she pushed to make sure that your rental payments had an impact on your eligibility for accessing credit around a mortgage. So again, big shout out to my predecessor, mentor, and friend, because someone from right our own backyard made a nationally effective impact on renters, because for a long time, that was not the case.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question.
Next question. Are there any housing assistance programs for people who are self-employed or have income from gig work?
I guess that's back on you, Dorothy.
I mean, yes, self-employed. We will do self-employment. We've done self-employment 2 years. You're going to need a record of self-employment. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't always claim the total amount of income. I didn't say that. But we're going to look at that. We're going to need your tax returns. It is what it is, right? So we need to make sure that you are a sound borrower. Affordability, your ability to pay is very, very important. So we're going to look at those tax returns. So please, make sure that you keep that in mind when you're doing your tax returns. But self-employment, there is no discrimination against those who are self-employed. No.
Thank you. Yes, Candace?
And I can also add, too, that don't forget about your nonprofit housing agencies. A lot of times they may have additional resource, to your point, to make sure that they're supporting. And again, all these resources are free to make sure that any non-traditional credit history, non-traditional employment, that is going to give you the guidance to ensure that you can be bankable in terms of getting a mortgage. And do your homework about mortgages, too.
And
find one that fits you.
Thank you, Candace.
Sure, and to close it out, you have state money, you have bank money, you have city, county money. So sometimes you can layer your funds depending where you get your down payment from, and that's not discriminative. So you're able to apply for multiple sources that will help layer for down payment.
Thank you.
We have an audience question.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Felicia Hood. My name is Felicia Hood. I have a question. I'm just trying to see. Well, I am a nonprofit owner. I just got exempt status, Embassy of Hope Children's Advocacy Center, and I'm trying to see what route to go to secure a space for it. How do I go about that? I have no idea.
So accessing a place for your office to run your business.
To actually put the nonprofit inside so I can start offering the services that I have.
Okay, so I think we may have some folks here from the county, and perhaps that might be, the land bank might have some resources or property that fit the bill, but the land bank is also a good resource. I used to work for the county government prior to coming over to being elected to federal, and there may be some opportunities there, so I would encourage you. I'm sure we have some folks from the county, but if not, check with the county land bank on Monday morning, and they may have a list of properties that suit the bill for you. Yes.
Congresswoman Brown, it's nice to be with you again.
Always, thank you.
Ron Carson. I worked for 25 years in federal government, and the whole goal of that was to accumulate as much of a global directory as possible to solve the affordable homes crisis, and we've solved it. We're currently building 2,000 affordable homes. Yes, yeah, sorry. We're currently building 2,000 affordable homes. Mike Ferrante is here, the #1 Century 21 real estate agent in the entire country, right here. He leads the entire, #1 Century 20 real estate agent. He's the #1 team in the country, and we're building 2,000 homes. I left the Biden administration 2 years ago. I was actually Secretary Fudge's director of advance, and I left the Biden administration 2 years ago after serving in the Obama-Biden administration both terms, and throughout that, we went out and leveraged all of our contact with the Mayor Sellers here in Warrensville Heights. We have 15 lots there. There are 20,000 available lots, as you know, in Cleveland, and we're going to build 2,000 affordable lots. So I just want to let you all know that you can come upstairs a little later and talk to us, because we're building these homes between $235,000 and $275,000. And the greatest pathway to wealth creation, as you all said, is through home ownership. And our people have been left out and left behind. So we're solving the affordable homes crisis. I know. It just needs to be out there. People say that it can't be done,
check out Mr.
but we're doing it. So I'm going to come and
workshop.
talk to you, Ms. Curtis, about partnering so you can help us to do that. But we're going to build 2,000 homes.
All right, thank you.
So sorry. Trying to get as much information in. We had another question. I am a senior on a fixed income. Are there any programs that help people like me stay in my home or for affordable housing?
Well, I know another thing that we, back from the county, working at the county, there are a number of resources. There's a Western Reserve Area on Aging agency that also provides assistance, and I know they get funding from, I believe, the federal, the state, and the county government. So there are programs available, and we want to help you connect with those programs today. So they may be around the room, but I'll yield to the ladies to see if they have anything to add.
Benjamin Rose, I know, is here, and they are very, very resourceful as it relates to seniors. Absolutely.
Ditto.
And yes, Benjamin Rose has been an excellent partner with us, and an amazing leader in the community.
I think we have time for 2 more questions. Our next question is, I've been on my job, but I'm going to be transitioning. Is there anything as it relates to how long my length of service at my job is going to impact my ability to get a mortgage?
No. It's not a matter of how long. Being consistent. There's no break-in. In other words, you work a year, then you're off a year. No. We want you to be consistent. So you can change jobs. There's nothing wrong with you bettering yourselves. We just need to be able to verify what you're doing. In other words, and there's no breakage in that. You're not taking, 6-month breaks between jobs. We want to just make sure you're consistent. So it doesn't matter, that length of time. We're going to look for 2 years employment, but as long as it's consistent and consecutively, that's fine. No breakage, but you can change jobs.
Our final question here, and we're going to make sure you have plenty of time to talk with all of these amazing women after, but final question.
I really didn't need this mic, but it's a lot of counseling entities out here. What makes you guys stand out from the other guys? Because you hear a lot of the vocabulary like, I can help you, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I can help you fix your credit, and I can help you do this. But then when you get in there, it's something totally different. So what makes, how do you differentiate who's telling the truth and who's just gaslighting you?
I'm going to let Lydia handle that. That's a great question.
Yes, that is an awesome question. So thank you for the question. And I just want to always acknowledge my HUD folks in the back as well.
Lydia will pay you later. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. So first, you always want to make sure that the agency you're working with, if we're HUD approved, you can go onto the HUD.gov website. You can verify that the counseling agency is a HUD-approved counseling agency first. Secondly, can you walk into their doors and see someone face-to-face? That's the most important part of counseling. They're not disappearing, you can't find them. And then thirdly, when you interview that HUD agency, the HUD-approved counseling agency, is making sure that the services that they offer are fitting what your needs are. Some agencies do certain things and then they refer to another agency, but some can do them in-house. Once you know what that is, then making that appointment with that HUD agency counselor. I always suggest, I know we have virtuals, we have telephones, we have Zooms and all of that, but a face-to-face on an initial setting is always the best way, so you're talking with that counselor face-to-face. Are their services free? Are there any a la carte sets that you don't know about? Those are the important things when working with a HUD agency, is knowing they're free of charge. You can find them on a government website, and you're meeting with them to get those services that you need. So that's how I would answer that when it comes to free services.
Free, verifiable on the HUD.gov website. Those are the two things you will know to make the distinction between whether or not this is somebody legit.
Yeah, but those folks are certified. And when they're on that site, they're completely certified. Any challenges, you can go right to HUD if there's any major issues. So you know you have a government agency, the counseling agency that's working underneath the HUD website, underneath the HUD.gov.
All right, thank you, Lydia. So let's end on a high note. I want your best cheat code, ladies, the best cheat code for success in 2025, but you only get one sentence, all right? So we're going to start with Candace, then Lydia, and then end with Dorothy. You got 20 seconds. Starting, no, okay, go ahead.
No pressure. Information is power. Information is power.
Okay.
One second.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew. I'm sorry. Oh, shoot.
Who's on you? Who's really on you, Lydia? Lydia trying to buy time.
Yeah, like I'm feeding off what
Candace
she's
was
saying.
short and sweet, said information is power, and just threw all the ladies off. You just shook the team. Candace. All right, okay.
She did.
Okay, Lydia, I'm gonna yield you 10 seconds from Candace's time, okay?
10 seconds.
Additional
Commit
10.
to change. I'm going to repeat it. Commit to change. Change today.
All right.
Last but not least,
Last but not least.
be true to you. Be true to you.
All right. So I want to give the ladies a huge thank you. Candace, Lydia, and Dorothy, can we give it up for them one more time? Some valuable information was passed today. They're not just talking the talk, but walking it in our community every day, and I could not be more grateful for that. And for all of you in the room, don't leave today just inspired. Leave with a plan. I need y'all to leave with the plan. Visit our vendor table, sign up for one of the sessions, and follow up with someone you met today. This is your cheat code. This whole entire expo and conference is your cheat code. So let's keep it moving. Thank you all, and I'm going to pass it back over to our hostess with the mostest, Miss Jasmine Butler.
Thank you, Congresswoman. All right, can we give the Congresswoman and our panelists a huge round of applause? I hope y'all learned some things. I learned some things. So before we move out to our breakout sessions, here's what you need to know. All of your breakout sessions are listed in this handy dandy handout, if you need a handout, we will have somebody at the doors and all throughout this location to give you one. We want to make sure you know where you're going. Our first breakout sessions will begin at 11:15, so you've got plenty of time to stretch, network, or visit a resource table. We do have lunch available for you. We ask that you take your box lunch with you to your breakout session so you can do more of a lunch and learn. We want you to be able to engage while you get your sustenance, because who doesn't like a snack? Now, if you need help finding anything, just look out for someone with a volunteer badge. Can we have our volunteers wave your hand, stand up for us? If you need anything, let one of us know, and we'll be very happy to help you with that. Thank you again for being here, for investing in your future, and for keeping this energy alive. Enjoy your first breakout session.